We're in round 16 of Battle Tower singles. I've made a new team based on the Grumpig Ninetales team that I showed earlier, which I said was very easy. Well, this team is easier. We have Grumpig again, which is the same. I did make a minor change. I took 8 EVs out of HP and put them in speed, because we still survive Metagross, Bandit, Shadow Ball, and we have the same chance to survive Rhyhorn, Quicklaw, Megahorn, but now we outspeed max speed Lapras, which means we have a better chance of not getting frozen before we trick them. That set does have Quicklaw though, so it's not guaranteed. So we are unchanged. Trick, Torment, Flash, Skill Swap. We basically only click Trick. Got a Bright Powder. And there's Ice Beam, okay. And I will Torment here, because that will make it over frozen solid. That's why I clicked it immediately. We will now have a much easier time stalling this out with Zapdos. We fall. And we land a Flash. Flash is completely unnecessary, but it's very nice. Because with this version of the team, we are using double team Baton Pass Zapdos. And instead of using Grudge, we have Pressure Stall. Okay, I protected on the wrong turn. That's fine. Ice Beam hits. It's gonna take down the substitute. We'll set up another one. Struggle isn't gonna kill it. And we have leftovers to regain our HP, so we can set up more substitutes. Struggle missed, which doesn't matter too much. And now we swap between double team and protect. And Flash is nice because that means Porygon has a chance to miss before we set up any double teams. But lowering accuracy and increasing your own evasiveness doesn't actually stack. Like, it goes up to +6, or combined it goes up to 6. So let's say -3 accuracy, +3 evasion. That's 6 together. But if I have like 1 lowered accuracy and +6 evasion, it's not going to be more. I think the Ice Beams are out. So we go up to +6, we set up a substitute, we Baton Pass. This Porygon is not very lucky. And now we go into Salamence. And now we set up 6 Dragon Dances. And in the previous 3 rounds I had Lumberry on Salamence, but I just switched to Sharp Beak, so we have more damage on our Aerial Ace. Lumberry is mostly for things like static, Because with aerial ace we're making contact. Now you might think, why would you want to aerial ace an electric type that has static? But I know at least Raichu has Bright Powder. And we one-shot Raichu with aerial ace. But we have evasion up, substitute, so we can risk missing. And if we do miss and they take out the substitute, you just set up another one until they miss. If they don't miss, then well, either you risk another miss or you risk getting staticked. And Salamence is a lot worse for setting up. Like we don't have any recovery compared to the Latios we used on the Ninetales team. And we haven't lowered their attack, so the only lowering is from Intimidate. Which means when they hit, they'll do a lot of damage to the substitute. That's Quick Claw. Hopefully we don't get crit. We don't. Although I'm not sure, Donovan wouldn't have that many moves to hit me with. I could go to Salamence immediately. I would be able to set up before it starts struggling, but I want my double teams. I maybe should have started with the substitute, because then I would have been full health again by now. One thing that we could have done that I didn't do here, but probably would have been better, is against some Pokemon, if they're locked into a move that doesn't do a lot of damage to Zapdos, we can switch into Salamence first, Intimidate, then switch to Zapdos, and then set up, or even we could Intimidate multiple times and then start setting up, which is what we could have done here and would have been better. Because now the substitute gets one shot. And we are getting very unlucky. Gonna protect to heal up a little bit. Finally a miss. And I think with an Intimidate the substitute will take one hit. And it does. Which is good. And substitutes are really good with evasion because it's basically a protect, but if they miss, you still have it up without needing to click a move. We'll set up a new substitute, because we also have it on Salamence. You could try, but I don't think it's worth it. You could try putting Rest instead of Earthquake, so that you do have Sustain. But then you could probably lose to things like Regirock. Slacking goes down. Victory Bell definitely goes down. So some Pokemon that I haven't encountered in the leads yet that I'm afraid of. Crobat and Fast Aerodactyl. Those might be able to kill Zapdos. I'm not sure about the Crobat. If it's locked into Sludge Bomb and I get poisoned immediately, then definitely I lose. Well, I lose the Zapdos without being able to set up. I might still be able to set up a few boosts on Salamence and do something with that. And for the Aerodactyl, if it's Choice Band, I'm not sure. I haven't done the calc. I have a bulkier Zapdos than the one I used on my doubles team, so I might be able to live one hit, and in that case we PP stall completely. Should probably Torment this. Now I don't get my speed lowered, which doesn't matter too much, because we have Dragon Dance. And we only need like 2 boosts to outspeed everything. But yeah, this team is simpler than the Ninetales team because we only have one strategy with the Zapdos. Double team. We don't have to think about when do I charm, when do I need to substitute, when do I need to grudge, when can I keep Ninetales alive. It's a much simpler team. Because I realized after I posted the video, like, I'm calling it a very easy team, and it is, but I have a lot of experience that like a new player to the frontier doesn't have. So it's really easy for me, but for them it might be a little bit more complicated than I thought at first. Though I think even if you don't use the team optimally, you can still get gold in a couple of runs, if not the first run. And most likely when you get some flashes off on the lead Pokemon, like going to +6 evasion, it's not necessary, most likely, but it could help if you run into Focus Band, Quick Claw. Every little advantage that you can have, it doesn't really cost us anything. Like, we might as well take it. We set up as much as possible. Like, sometimes you might lose too much HP. You can set up fully, whether that's with Zapdos or with Salamence. You just go, you get as much as you can. Most Pokemon you will one-shot after a few boosts. We are adamant max attack here. Registeel. There are only a few Pokemon that can live a hit. Something like a Skarmory. And sometimes we can even keep the Grumpig alive, which might be nice in some situations where you can take away leftovers from a really bulky Pokemon. I'm not sure if that ever matters if we're at +6. Skill swap against Metagross is still important, because even though we don't have Charm, we still have to Intimidate. And if Metagross is locked into Meteor Mash, like, Zapdos can switch in without taking too much damage. It also helps against a potential attack raise. I'll do the double Intimidate here. I don't think it matters here, but we'll go for it. So we get one Intimidate here, and then when we Baton Pass, we get another one. Protect for some healing. And against these weaker Pokemon, you don't necessarily have to set up substitutes immediately. If they don't really do that much damage, then might as well just double team. But we already have a couple of flashes up, so there's a good chance Typhlosion misses anyway. I'm just gonna keep double teaming. It also means that when we set up the new substitute after we're done boosting, we know the substitute is full HP. And the crit here would not threaten me. So we're at +6, substitutes, Baton Pass, and yeah, we just repeat. Now obviously a downside is we only have one Pokemon with any attacking moves. So if something survives and Salamence dies, we're gonna probably lose. Like maybe if they survive with Focus Band, and we can stall out their attacks and make them die to struggle, either our own struggle or their struggle. Like, I guess we can win. But yeah, probably we're doomed. I'm not sure how we would lose. It's probably Quick Claw, killing the substitute. And then Focus Band survival on the next Pokemon. And then they'd somehow have to one-shot Salamence, or maybe we're not full HP. Something like that. Could also be the Focus Band first and then the Quick Claw, but then they'd still be full HP, so we're probably doomed at that point. But at least, now that we have Aerial Ace, Bright Powder is no longer a lose condition. Except for maybe something like a Regirock, Registeel. Because we're gonna Earthquake those. Most of the time at least. I did have a Regirock lead, which I locked into double team. And I killed that with Aerial Ace. Dragon Claw wouldn't even kill us with a crit. Focus Band, that's very nice. Let's Torment this. Oh, actually it locked into Earthquake. That makes sense. Its attack got boosted by the Choice Band. Don't think I have to fear struggles too much. Yeah. This is another situation where I could have gone for the the intimidate first. I probably should be doing that more. Because the Latios could just hit me every time. Like, there's no guarantee the Latios will actually miss. There's also a lot of times where if Salamence loses the first substitute that it gets from Zapdos, I just keep Dragon Dancing. And I set up the substitute at the end. It depends a bit on how much I fear the struggle damage. Here I don't really fear it that much. And the nice thing as well here, since we no longer lose to Bright Powder, we can never lose against, or we can, no, actually I think we can never lose against Annabelle. Like there were chances to lose before with the Ninetales team. The Raikou could Thunderbolt and fully paralyze. The Grumpig, and then it could do something similar to Ninetales. Like, it's not that likely because it likes Calm Mining on turn 1. Hello, Zapdos. But also you could just lose to the Bright Powder, even if you have set up Latios. We steal the Lumberry and cure paralysis immediately. That's happened a couple of times, it's very funny. Decides to go into Drill Peck. That's fine. We can set up on Drill Peck. This time I will intimidate first. And we will stall out the Drill Peck before we Baton Pass, because Choice Band Drill Peck, that's gonna deal some decent damage. Zapdos finally hits us again. And it's struggling. Yeah, for keeping Grumpig alive, it's pretty much only when they're locked into a ground type move. But if you can do it for free, then you might as well. Never know what might happen. I'm not sure how strong this Zapdos is. It might be max attack. And if it crits, it's probably gonna deal a lot of damage. So here I am setting up the substitute. It didn't do too much damage to Grumpig, so probably it isn't max attack, but I'm not sure. In comes Raikou. Not sure if Raikou ever has Bright Powder. I'm also not sure if we maybe just one-shot with Aerial Ace, especially now that we have Sharp Beak. Probably depends on the set. I think there's at least some of them that have max HP. And I know that the Zapdos, they're all offensive. Horn Drill, Quick Claw Horn Drill, and it hits. Very interesting. I can't really intimidate this. I'm just gonna have to hope for the best now. Rock Slide. Quick Claw Rock Slide would be terrible for us. Well, there it is. We do survive, but we can't set up. Oh, he flinched as well. Oh, crazy. Okay. This time I didn't get it. I'm not sure what the moveset is on this. Probably has another move besides Horn Drill that can hurt me, like it has Earthquake, Rock Slide, Horn Drill, and something. Brick Break gets another Quick Claw, but we live on 1 HP. Yeah, we could die here. So I think I'm gonna Baton Pass. It's risky though. No, it sees a kill, so it shouldn't Horn Drill. Actually, I think what I do is I intimidate and then I switch back. Just needs to not horn drill me now, right now. Okay. So now we should survive a brick break. Of course, it's gonna probably horn drill. So we just need to dodge one. Okay, we did dodge one. And now if it uses it into protect, it's out. Yeah, no more horn drills. I'll try to substitute. Another quick claw, hopefully. Okay, no crits. It's going to run out soon, but that's actually worse, because then it's going to deal more damage, I think. Or, well, not that much. I think it's like 40 base power and this is like 37.5, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. Maybe just go for a double team here. Although I would die to a crit. No crit. Miss, very nice. Ah, it has to run out of earthquakes first. That's good. Actually, on these earthquakes we could intimidate more. But I'm just gonna go for it now. I've already got one intimidate off. And we're almost at max boost. That was definitely a difficult start, but we got there. A double quick claw. And not just double quick claw, but the quick claw into horn drill. And then the quick claw into flinch, but the flinch didn't matter because we lost too much HP, but still. And we're finally fully set up. And the Rhydon is gone. At least this means there's no quick claws in the back. Altaria. Ah, we get the crit. And the Kingdra. And we won. Despite the horrible start. We beat the round. And we get 15 battle points. Definitely adding up on those battle points. I think I'm at like 4.5 total. Almost 4.5. So yeah, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to get to round 20. And I'll just record the last battle of each round, or if I run into an interesting matchup like the Crobat or the Aerodactyl that I mentioned, I'll start recording. So I'll see you probably in battle 7. It's time for the first 7th battle. Didn't run into anything too interesting. Porygon. Let's see what it locks into. Take the Bright Powder. Ice Beam. Actually, that's fine. I did do something. I think I can show you. Something I was thinking about earlier, but I didn't actually do it. So, when I'm spamming Intimidate, I don't want Salamence to actually get hurt because there's no way to recover HP, and we want to keep max HP so we can substitute 4 times. But what we can do is we substitute with Zapdos before we're fully set up. Then we Baton Pass. So we Intimidate, but because there's a substitute, Salamence doesn't take any damage. Then you switch back to Zapdos. And then you can repeat that spam Intimidate. Of course, that only works against Pokemon that don't deal too much damage. Which this Porygon is probably not doing that much damage. So we could do it here. Just need to watch out that Zapdos doesn't end up too low. So here I could Baton Pass. We get an Intimidate off. And we switch back. But the thing is, this only really works against the weaker Pokemon. And we don't really care that much about the weaker Pokemon. Like, they're already not doing that much damage, so I don't really need to intimidate them. Like, the exception would be if it locks into a move that is gonna deal less damage than Struggle will deal. I'm not sure which move that would be. And we're fully set up. Time for Mens to do the same. Another intimidate. But yeah, this is looking like an easy battle. I have run into Crobat and Aerodactyl before, before I started recording the first, before I started round 16. But those weren't in the lead. I suppose Jolteon could also be a problem if Grumpig gets paralyzed before tricks, and then it just dies. The same would probably go for something like a Starmie. And a Raikou. And there we go. Another round completed. "119 wins. I'll be back in the next round." Okay, 7th battle of round 18. And this is an all legendary trainer with Latios. Okay, that's fine. 2 battles ago we had lead Regirock, which is probably the scariest legendary. Okay, no, never mind. Immediate fall after Ice Beam Freeze. Good thing we did fall because it's actually Quick Claw. Alright, switches to Earthquake. Which means we can intimidate for free. I'm switching to Grumpig so pressure doesn't activate. Not sure if it actually mattered. Two intimidates is probably fine. There we go, back to +6 evasion. And we've probably won. Well, I guess with the Reggies there could be Bright Powder, Regirock, which I would be Earthquaking so I could miss. Could be Quick Claws, there could be Focus Band, so I guess it's not over yet. There's +6. We get another Intimidate off. Although the substitute is already low, so probably it will break. But it missed. Time to dance. Yeah, we'll set up a new one. And then we keep dancing. Never mind. Critical hit. We set up another substitute. Miss. No crit this time. That's better. Okay, you are allowed to miss, you know? Getting a bit low on HP, but we're almost fully set up. Even if we don't get the +6, most Pokemon will die. It's more important to have a substitute up than to be +6. Here we go. Articuno. And who's last? Suicune. Another round complete. I'm not sure if round 19 is gonna be the last one I do, because then I'm... Round 20 is my PB. Like not beating round 20, but getting there. Maybe I want to switch back to the Moltres team, or maybe I'll record one Annabelle fight with this, but it's not that... It's not really any different from any other battle. You trick, you set up, and you win. But yeah, that's it for now. I'll be back probably at the last battle, but maybe we run into something interesting. See you then. This is battle 6, but I figured metagross is interesting enough. Because I think I battled one before, but that was before I started recording. So what we need to do here, if we get to live, this might be Shadow Ball. No, okay. Or we could get crit. Ooh, attack boost. Okay, so what we're doing here, skill swapping, so that intimidate will affect it. What missed? I'll just flash and miss. So now we switch in for the intimidate. And we switch to Zapdos, and Zapdos doesn't take that much from steel type moves, even though it's Meteor Mash from metagross. Okay, it did take considerably more than last time, because last time it didn't get an attack boost. But it will be out of PP soon, so it's fine. I might intimidate an extra time, but I don't think I have enough HP. So we're just gonna have to hope we dodge enough. There's the struggle. Okay, this is kind of bad. Substitutes don't live and I don't have any double teams. I have two options. Either I switch directly and take a hit on Salamence, or I just set up a double team and hope for the best. I think I'll just set up a double team because I have to switch back anyway. Ooh. I might have to settle for a single double team boost. Okay, we get a dodge. But next turn I'll be at exactly the amount of HP I need. Well, the exact HP that a substitute costs, so I don't have enough. But I can protect again. So yeah, okay, we can try setting up more. We get another miss, very nice. We keep dodging, very nice. Yeah, we would have had to set up with only one boost in evasion. I would probably just, if we hadn't dodged, I would Baton Pass. Or maybe I should just let Zapdos die. I would probably have to do some calcs on how much damage we would take. And how many boosts we need to kill a metagross. But once we switch the Salamence, I'm pretty sure Substitute is gonna live one struggle. Because of the extra intimidate. Okay, I might just switch on the next one. The next time it misses my substitute because we're starting to run a bit low on our resources. And that one extra boost isn't gonna matter that much. Of course, now it keeps hitting. Well, worst case scenario, we just pass 5 boosts without a substitute. Hopefully we dodge on the next turn. And we do not dodge. We even get crit. Well, better that we get crit on the substitute than on the next turn where we Baton Pass. This protect doesn't really do anything. Don't think it's going to help us to have 12 more HP on Zapdos, but who knows. Now, this should do less than 50. Yeah. Which means we can set up a substitute. And actually have it be useful for more than just dodging a crit. No crit, very good. If it got the crit raise on turn 1, we definitely would have lost. Or at least we would have been likely to lose. But then I wouldn't have switched into Salamence first, so we could have started off with the boost before we got hit. Okay, we're at +6. I guess we still would have had a chance. But it would not have been favorable. I mean, we kill with Aerial Ace at this point. It's taken so much struggle damage. Whack can't have Bright Powder, so Earthquake would have been more damage, but we kill no matter what. Aerodactyl. Still haven't seen Aerodactyl in the lead. Only in the back. Alright, time for the last battle, then we'll be at round 20. And this will be the last battle. Unless I change my mind. Because I'm not uploading this today, so if I change my mind, I guess maybe there will be a round 20 after this, so I can show off Annabelle, but it's not very interesting. We get a Lumberry, Fire Punch. We get burned, but hey, we have a Lumberry. Getting burned wouldn't actually have been that bad. Just means we get our switch into Zapdos faster. I guess if it starts struggling, I can switch into Salamence first for an Intimidate. Does need to hit me first. I don't really need to torment this. It found its glasses. Don't know if it's struggling yet, so I'm gonna go directly into Zapdos. And it's not like it's a strong physical attacker. Well, it is struggling. I'll just double team. Let's see how much it does. 22. Yeah, that's not much. Oh, he's blind again. But that didn't really matter. Now it's when it starts mattering. Still missed. But yeah, this is looking like an easy last battle. Oh, crit one shot. And now it's gonna crit every turn. No. We'll be fine. That is the thing with this team. You can, in theory, always lose. You just need to get really, really unlucky. +6. And we need a new substitute. There we go. One down. Zapdos shouldn't be a problem. And that should be it. Round 20 reached. But you did see in some of these battles, like the Quick Claw Horn Drill into Quick Claw Rock Slide. And here the early attack race on the metagross. The team isn't immune to RNG. But it is pretty strong. I mean, we got some bad RNG, but we still won. But I've also... I still haven't run into Crobat or Aerodactyl lead, which might be a problem. But yeah, this is definitely good enough to get 100 wins pretty easily. Easier than the ninetales Latios. Especially because if you don't get a skill swap off, it's not as bad against something like a Metagross or a Regirock, because we have evasion. We can still set up, it's just harder. But yeah, that's probably it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you Probably with the Moltres theme. I might do the same thing I did now. Yeah, no, I'm not sure. Like maybe I'll only record the last spell, but I think I'll probably record everything because it's gonna be my high streak. So I should probably record everything. But yeah, see you then.